ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everybody else under the rainbow of our wonderful community. How are you doing today? We are here with a new Otome visual novel. I believe they said visual novel in their thing, but I actually played a part of the demo. Oh god, I can't believe I'm about to say this. 2 years ago. I think it's up on YouTube as well. I played it 2 years ago for Sexy Spicy September, and then the backlog just got so fucking long that, you know, yada yada yada. But I didn't stop playing it because I didn't like it. Actually, The Good People has been on my radar for such a fucking long time. As I was telling Twitch chat, this game is inspired by Irish mythology and Celtic folklore, which means I'm gonna butcher so much pronunciation, and I apologize for that in advance. But I am really looking forward to it because I love so many character designs. And we were just talking about Hear Me Out cakes before, and they're not in Hear Me Out cakes because they're all conventionally attractive. Smash? She's hot, but a little hoity for me, I think. I like their character, but I think it gives me vibes. Smash. Smash. She's a little too goofy, or they're a little too goofy for me. This is just a, like, first glance, okay? Because I don't remember playing it to begin with. But yeah. Smash, smash, smash. Those would be my 3. The people, Moirai Myths, I'm butchering their name as well, actually reached out to me on Twitter to play the demo before the release of the first 2 paths, which they're releasing on November 1st. And I believe it is this character. Let me get my stuff back up. We have Shay, maybe, and Shay and Maeve or Mauve. But these are the 2 characters that will be available in the first routes in November. I believe it drops November 1st, actually. So we're going to play the free demo, and then when it is released, I will be running one of the routes, and I think I'm gonna go for her. Because I just think she's fucking gorgeous, and honestly, I love her hair so much. So yeah, today we're going to play through an hour-ish. There is voice acting, so that's always a plus in my book. But if you are here on Twitch, sit back, relax. Of course, you may chat if you would like to with any questions, any comments. Absolutely, go right ahead. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Maybe you want to subscribe if you're not subscribed, because we do a lot of Otome stuff. If you're here for an Otome thing, I got you covered when it's just playing through games. So maybe click subscribe. That would be kind of cool, you know? And other than that, just put me on in the background to just listen. There will be weird responses and reactions, I'm sure. But hopefully it can be a little relaxing for you. So yeah. Oh, and we have some point redeems with a hydrate. And a flex to start this YouTube VOD. Nice. Let's get into the game. Do you accept the name to be true? Okay, so, if you click yes, the name will be left to fate. If you click no, you write it in yourself. Ooh! My human name is Reaper, because that makes sense. Nickname is the name that the protagonist will be referred to by for most of the game until it no longer is. God, nice. What's my nickname? When I talk to myself in like my mind, like gaming mind, I always call myself Reaps. I feel like that's a good name. So my name is Reaper. My nickname is Reaps. In the Book of the Traveler, pronouns will default to they, them due to a case of a mistaken identity. Ooh. Oh, I love this. She, her. Oh my god, they do everything. What? Oh my god. Okay. So you could go all out and make sure your pronouns are fucking set. I'm gonna go with she this time around. I love that. I'll be honest, it's a little much for me. But I also just identify as she, they. So for me, I can just go between one of these and be totally happily fine. But if you want to be referred to as something else, you just... Look at that. They've got you covered. I feel like that's really fucking accessible. Damn. I hope it's just not too difficult for other people who want to do that. I'm gonna go with she, though, for me. Also, if you're people who don't know about pronouns or don't know how, like, just like the details that this goes into so that you understand. Fucking love it. I love it. Okay, save. Yeah, I can't change my look. Okay. Return. So this was the character creator. There's side stories. There's a glossary. Look at the traveler, soldier, warrior, king, queen, trickster, master. And so, obviously, you could pick whatever one of these you wanted if you just wanted to be, like, I guess, surprised. But it looks like Maeve, who I really want to romance, is going to be warrior. What's the world map? Come here. Oh, dang it. Return anew. What's this information? Oh, okay. These are just the credits. All right, all right. Mute when unfocused. Sound volume. I love that. Voice volume. Ooh, okay. Text color. It's not often that I see a lot of dialogue stuff. I can speed this up a little bit for me. Time choices on, which is normal. I want that. I want self-voicing. Gotta okay, keep your secrets. So you choose one of these? Who's the traveler? Oh, they're numbered though. Oh, they're numbered. So maybe you go in order? Oh my, fuck. Why are all these games having so many hot characters and I want to do so many runs? God damn it. Let's just do Book of the Traveler, because I think we're the Traveler. I think that's us. I do wish the numbers here were a little bigger, just so it's more clear, like, hey, you start here and you can go through. But I do love how detailed and beautiful this is. The titles on the side is just gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and actually get into the game. Book of the Traveler. Right? Yes! Okay. Maybe it was a double click. Let me check that. Wait. Yeah, it is double click. Okay. Chapter selection? Chapter 1, bitch! New game. The following chronicle seeks to recount the events preceding the... I do think I remember that, where you click it and you get the glossary. Aranuk. Irish person. Interference with the affairs of the legendary Tua de Danan, or tribe of the goddess Danu. Mortals made demigods to the blessing of Danu. More contemporarily known as Daoine Maithe? Daoine Maithe. Daoine Maithe. The good people. We begin in 1845 during the initial onset of An Jokhal, or An Gorta Moor, the Great Famine. An era of Irish history besieged by unparalleled tragedy. For most, the severity of what was to come could not yet be known, but to the laborers, any poor harvest meant a long and hungry winter. Proper preparation was vital, and so it was thus that the Aranuk set out to the port city of Galway one fateful mid-September morning, readying to pawn off an assortment of family heirlooms and other disposable valuables. It was the only way to ensure survival. This journey, however, would be far longer and far stranger than anyone would have ever otherwise anticipated. Yay. I do wish it didn't blank out the top part. I wish the glossary would just kind of like pop up, but I'm not in game design. I don't know how difficult that is to keep the screen as it is and just pop up the glossary on its own. So I'm going to say that with no idea how to actually make a visual novel. Just keep that in mind. There's a dull ache in my belly, a hollow pain that's been nagging at me to eat the wee morsel Mam gave me this morning. Ooh! Prada Biag Awan. One small potato. Wait, there's...
Prata Biogawan. Prata Biogawan.
I feel like that's added. I ignore it again, but not without effort. My last proper meal had to have been last night's supper, but I know I can get by on a rumbling stomach a little while longer still. There'll be time to eat when my errand's over and done with, and that should be soon. I hope. It's been a long and tiresome day's ride, but I'm determined to reach Galway before the sun hangs high. There's no sense in wasting what little money I have on lodgings if I can go about my business right as the shops open and be on my way by midday. But traveling the road at night's dangerous business. Mofashta. Let alone with all those treasures in your saddlebag. You ought to pace yourself. Lots of desperate folk out there, especially now. Aye, but I'm just as likely to be robbed in the common lodgings as I am on the road, I told my da, firm and final. Though if I'm honest, I'm not too sure how well these old things will sell. None of it's terribly fancy by city standards. mammal. Mammals, doilies, our Sunday clothes, a bit of jewelry, Mam's worn ever since her wedding day. It's not exactly the kind of thing to buy when times are tough, and from what I've heard, the disease on our crops hasn't just affected us. It's all over, this is. I shake my head. There's bound to be some wealthy folk willing to take these trinkets off our hands, even if it's not for much. If nothing else, it should get that bastard of a landlord off our backs for a while. The roads have been quiet. It's almost unsettling for this time of year. Of course, it's no surprise that I haven't seen other travelers these past couple of hours, but even earlier today, only a few folks crossed my path. Families, mostly, all bundled up and carrying what scarce few belongings their backs could manage, all slowly headed in the same direction as I. Now it's just me. Me and a dark thicket to my right and the river to my left. I gulp and eye the woods from time to time. A wall of trees line the roadside, swallowing up any light to be found on this moonless night. It makes me nervous, so I keep to the left as much as I can and spur my horse to quicken her pace. Oh! Whoa, steady now. Darby, my family's workhorse, slows to a restless halt in the middle of the road. I sigh, continuing to prod her, but she refuses to move 1 inch farther. Shh! I ought to sell you off, you stubborn old... I'm getting close. Just over yonder, I can see the beginning of the city's silhouette on the horizon, but it'll take me a few more hours to get there still. All right. I suppose we can rest for a short while. A very short while, you hear? I dismount and lead Darby off the road down to the riverside for a drink. As she wades into the water, I linger back on the shore and stretch my aching limbs, not willing to get my feet wet to keep a hold of the reins. My shoulders tense as I spin around to look down both ends of the road, searching for the source of the whistle I just heard. I thought that was us! Eh? Is someone out there? No one answers me, nor do I see anyone in the darkness. I clench my jaw, peering back over my shoulder at Darby. She seems entirely undisturbed, yet too far for me to grab in a hurry. Well, not that she would go anywhere in a hurry either. I sigh and rub the bridge of my nose. Her ears are better than mine. Might have been nothing. I lift my hand from my face and glare right across from me into the trees. I didn't see anything move, but I heard something. I'm certain of it. Leave. Time to leave. I'm a scaredy cat. Time to leave. Slowly, I back away from the road. I don't know what manner of creature or person a sound like that could have come from, but at this time of night, without some proper means of defending myself, I don't intend to find out. I whistle at Darby to come, and unsurprisingly, she doesn't move. Grimacing, I resign myself to riding the rest of the way to Galway with wet feet and wade into the water. Darby is none too pleased when I swing myself up onto her again, but after some gentle coaxes with my heel, she begrudgingly trudges back onto the land. There we go. Now, if you're quick about it, maybe there's a sugar cube in it for you when we reach the city, Darby huffs, but I see her ears perk up ever so slightly at the mention of sugar. With a chuckle, I steer her back onto the road and sound for her to pick up her pace. I glance over my shoulder a moment and squint, searching for the source of the voice I just heard. As I look, though, nothing appears to be there. Ooh, sorry, I hit my mouse. With some hesitance, I turn back to the road in front of me. Hey, Sia, thank you for the biddy. Good morning. JJ as well. Are you yesterday's date because you're a 10 out of 10? Hey. No, I'm today's date. I'm 11 out of 10. Get it right. No, I'm just kidding. Tulix, he's such a buddy. That is a paragraph to come to, sweetie. That is a paragraph. It's not a stupid question. No question is stupid. Why is, for example, the feminine pronoun she provided in both direct she and indirect her forms when providing pronoun choices? Are there cases where you would use one pronoun directly, she, but a different one indirectly, such as them? I think I'm missing something here, maybe because English is not my native language. I mean, she, her, he, his. You do it for masculine as well. Are you talking about pronouns for, like, when you say, like, hi, my name is Reaper, she, they? Or, like, she, her, they, them? He, him? Because I think it's just to kind of be like... Actually, I don't know why we do it. Is that what you mean? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm an English teacher, and at this point, I just... Whatever I say is... what you say. I don't know rules. I don't know the rules of English, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Very much. Good morning, and hey, I sent you the 10 out of 10 thing yesterday. You did. You did send me a 10 out of 10. You also sent me a 20 out of 10, a 30 out of 10. I have that saved. You did. How are you? But JJ, Tulix, and Zio, how are you guys? Welcome. Look, English is 7 dialects stacked on top of each other in trench coat, pretending to be a language. It's so true. It is so true. Also, that question isn't stupid. I just don't know if I can give an answer. Can anybody else explain it for Tulix? Also, shout out to you for English being your not native language, and you can make more of a questionable paragraph than I can make a sentence in my second language. Damn. Only 7? Zio, we were talking about, hear me out cakes earlier. I think you and I need to do a hear me out cake, because I want to know which one of us is more unhinged. And also, is Garrus on a hear me out cake? I'm gonna get back to the game. Oh, God. That's a question for you too, YouTube. Is Garrus on a hear me out cake? That's going to date this video completely, by the way. I don't know. You guys don't know a lot about Zio. I've learned a lot about Zero. Zero? Wow, Zio. Garrus is objectively attractive. Babe, 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 babe. I just want to let you in on a secret. I also think so. But, we might just be into some shit, so I'm gonna say. Garrus was on a hear me out cake, and people didn't know who he was, and I was just like, that's not a hear me out, that's just objectively attractive. Again, this is a game that we're going to, like, meet fairies and things like that and go into the fae and stuff, and I'm like, all of these people are conventionally attractive. Like, none of these characters in this game is a hear me out. They're all conventionally attractive as well. Okay, let's see. So we just heard something, and, like, they whistled, and we don't know what they are. That's concerning, by the way. Okay, yes, if someone says I need to address them as she, I'd be able to infer the her part grammatically, but it's customary to list she, her explicitly. Is it just for clarity? I think so. I think it is just for clarity, personally. Because the thing is that for me, when I introduce myself to people, I say she, they. I don't say she, her, they, them. I say she, they. So it could be clarity. Does anybody else have an answer to that? I always do it, and I like it when people say she, her, he, him, they, them. So then it kind of, like, solidifies, like, okay, this is their pronouns. I need to use it in, like, this way. I think it might be, I'll be honest, I think that question, Tulix, might actually be more of a society thing, not necessarily a language thing, if that makes sense. That might be a cultural society thing, not so much as an English language question. So, that's a good one. All right. With some hesitation, I turn back to the road in front of me. Rah! Why'd the music stop? Hey, yo, why'd the music stop? Chat, don't leave me, I'm scared. A dark blur sprints from the woods, too quick for me to react. Darby reels back on her hind legs in a fright, and though I cling as hard as I can to her, oof, I fall off hard into the dirt. It takes a good minute for me to reorient myself as my ears ring loud and long inside my head, but soon enough my eyes begin to focus again. Are you hot? If you're hot, Is that just me? Wait a minute. If it's just me, I am objectively hot. Gonna say that for myself. When I look up, I meet the cool stare of some hooded person standing over me in the dark, with one foot hoisted into the stirrups of Darby's saddle. Yo, that's my horse! Amadan? Amadan, you just called me a fool. They just called me a fool. I scramble to my feet as quick as I'm able, but it does me little good. The thief is too fast into the saddle, and before I quite know it, Darby and my saddlebag are disappearing off into the woods. I'm baffled. I don't know if the thief intended to go off-road or if poor, panicked Darby forced the thief's hand, but I don't have time to question it. Stealing my resolve, I run into the woods and chase after the thief on foot. My chances of catching up are slim, but I have to try. I have to. The journey back is far too long to be sensible without a ride, let alone without money, without food. Even if I pressed on and made it home regardless, what would I say to my family when I arrive? I've lost our money, our valuables, even our horse. We'd be... Jaw clenched, I run as fast as my legs will take me, bolting through the trees, barely able to see more than 10 feet ahead of me, and with only a path of snapped branches to guide my way. Luckily for me, the thief seems to be riding straight through the woods. Had they instead decided to veer in another direction, I'm sure I'd lose them for good. It is odd, though. I can't imagine why the thief would choose to push further in. Would it not make more sense to simply keep on to Galway where all those things would sell? After a while, I lose track of how long I've been running. All I know is I need to keep moving no matter how tired I am or how my gut turns and growls. Fortunately, just as soon as I begin to fear that I'll never see the end of these woods, the trees begin to thin out. Into a glade. I pause for a moment to catch my breath, but the strangeness of this place does not escape me. At first glance, I think that I must have gotten turned around and returned to the riverside, but the longer I look, I can see that this body of water is not a river at all. It's a small lake surrounded on all sides by tall, jagged stones. I move closer on impulse and feel heat from the water rising up on pillars of steam. The surface also bubbles like a simmering stew, and if my eyes aren't deceiving me, the water looks red. Caden en devil. What in the devil? Ooh, let's read. Let's hear.
Cade an devil.
Cade en devil. Wait, okay?
Cade an devil.
Cade en devil. You could learn some good shit from this. Having this, amazing. I do wish the camera would lock when you're on glossary, though, because this is kind of difficult when you're trying to, like, read through it. Everything moves. But I love this. Kadian Deval. What's all this? But of course, I'm talking to the air. No one else is here. No one else is here. Shite. My heart pounds as I spin around and search the ground for Darby's tracks. I can't afford to get distracted like this. The longer I linger here, the farther the thief gets. Thankfully, it doesn't take me long to find a fresh pair of muddy prints. They came out of the trees in the near the excuse me. They came out of the trees in near the same spot I did, then halt abruptly, slowing to circle into a different direction. With haste, I go to follow this new trail, expecting it to wind back to the woods. But it doesn't. I stare down, beyond perplexed, as Darby's hooves stop short by the lake's edge. For a moment, I consider the possibility that the thief purposefully waded into the lake to throw me off. But the longer I look into the water, I realize it's too deep. There's no gradual decline. It's a steep drop, dark, murky, and without end. If the thief did steer Darby into the water, they would have... Hey, you need to fucking stop that, okay? Creepy. Deep breath. Oof! Thanks a lot for the explanation. I don't know if it was a good explanation, but like once I understood what the question was, I'm definitely thinking it's more of a cultural thing now that people are getting more open with sharing what they want to be called and things like that. But absolutely, anytime I can help, I would love to. Just please don't take what I say as like, you know, fucking law, because I make mistakes when it's with stuff like that. I'd be down for a hear me out cake. We will be very late doing it in December. We need to do a hear me. I feel like that's something our content needs, is a hear me out cake. Let's do it, babe. You're selling? Oh my god, you're playing the TCG card game simulator, aren't you, Tompy? Good for you, by the way. Irish is such a beautiful language. Lived there for a few years and attempted to pick some of it up, but I regret now that I didn't try harder. I feel like a lot of people feel that way with new languages, especially when they live in places. I'm still learning Japanese, and I'm like, damn, if I had just like actually tried earlier on to actually learn it, I'd be so much farther. This is beautiful. I wish I had a base knowledge of how to pronounce these words and like the language in general, but I'm very grateful. Again, if you do this and click here, the glossary shows up, tells you all this stuff, tells you how to pronounce it, and then
Look, Bale Dragon.
and I love that. I think that's a beautiful touch. You even update to use the Pokemon mod. I've seen people do that too. I kind of like the original version, if I'm being honest with you. Okay, let's see. Loch Bel Dragon is one of the many yet few waypoints between Tir na Nog. Tir na Nog. I can't even read this shit. Damn. Tir na Nog and Inishfal?
Inishfal.
I think I was close on that one. Hidden away and forgotten by most, it stands unique for its relative ease of access and longevity. Yet similar to other waypoints of its kind, the threshold remains closed as to prevent accidental wayward travelers. So did the stranger pull me in? Unless, of course, it has been deliberately opened. Yes, continue to the next chapter. Ooh, chapter 2. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that the first time. It changes to English. I want to know who on the team translated everything. Like, are they native speakers or like did they learn? Hey devs, if you're by any chance watching this, I want to know who translated everything. Also, fantastic work. The Green Knight. Sound effects are beautiful too. What do you guys think of the background art, by the way? After flailing in the water for God knows how long, I finally find the surface again and drag myself onto the lake shore. It takes several ragged breaths before my vision clears. Did that cheeky bastard try to drown me? I look around to see if I can work out which direction the thief went, but nothing looks familiar. No, it's more than that. This isn't the same lake I fell into, nor even the same grove. The ruddy water's now bright and clear and adorned with lily pads. The familiar oak and ash trees are gone, replaced with mossy, gnarled willows and yews. The roots run so deep that they cascade into the lake, and everywhere I step is bursting with wild flowers. The forest is so overgrown that the treetops almost block out the sunlight that's suddenly sprung up over the horizon. But despite the abundant shade, I'm perfectly warm. There's a slight breeze, but it's as soft as a kiss, spring-like. And awfully unusual for September. What is this? Glancing back at the lake, the water is still, without a trace of my unexpected swim. Christ almighty, am I dead? I pinch my arm and wince. I can still feel, but what if that's just my mind playing tricks on me? Maybe I hit my head in the lake and I feel a wave of panic wash over me as I think of my family, waiting anxiously at home. They never wanted me to come here. They told me it was too dangerous. What have I gotten myself into? Robbed and drowned by the roadside? Ma'am, I'm so sorry. The sound of an approaching horse snaps me out of my thoughts. My heart skips a beat for half a moment, daring to think it might be Darby, but then...
Who's out there? In the name of the Queen, I order you to show yourself.
I don't know if did you guys hear the voice? Is it too soft for you? Cause... Ah! I feel like it was too soft for you guys. Shit! It was so nice! Oh, I don't care who you are. I want you to talk some more. The voice is a little soft. I will bump it up a little bit in the headphones, which should give it to you guys a little bit louder. I scowl a bit. What's a damn... Sassenach?
Sassenach.
Sassenach. What's a damn Sassenach doing out this way? Kaifigur Ifranesha. This must be hell.
Kaifigur Ifranesha.
I did get the Shaw. Kaifigur Ifranesha. Moving as silently as possible, I shield myself behind a thick yew and watch for glimpses of the stranger, or their horse. Up ahead, beyond the twisting limbs of this forest, I see traces of a dirt road. Darting between the trees, I advance closer, angling for a better vantage point. As I reach the tree line, I pause. The strangers come into view, like I'd hoped, and now I can start making out some details. A pink sash peeks out from the foliage, which appears to be draped across some kind of cloth armor. I squint. Is that a spear? What's the military doing roaming around with spears? They're quite short for a soldier, too. This is just getting odd. I slump against a tree. My wet clothes feel heavy and my back is beginning to ache with tension. I can tell the stranger isn't my thief, but they don't look much like British military either. Maybe they could help me sort some things. They probably at least know where we are. I'm gonna ask for help. The voice sounds hot. I can't see shit. Sitting here feeling sorry for myself won't help. They may even be able to point me home, or to the pearly gates, I suppose. Though, truth be told, I'm beginning to doubt that possibility. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I don't feel dead. Brushing my hair out of my face and straightening my clothes as best as I'm able, I march out from the trees and over to them. When they see me, they come to a halt. Hopefully that's a good sign? Ah! Cute! See, 'cause now my problem is my cursor is on the page. Will it go away? Will you fade away? No, you're gonna live there? Okay, my cursor lives there. Nope, it faded away. Good job. Good job, cursor. However, as I begin to get a better look at their face, I'm momentarily taken aback. The person before me is unlike anyone I've ever seen. For one, their ears slope to unnatural points and are nestled under a mop of greenish-brown hair. My eyes linger on the scar etched across their slightly protruding chin. I stand up straighter, but quickly look away, careful not to reveal too much surprise on my face. No wonder things have been so strange. I'm not dead, but they're not human. You'd easily mistake it from far away, but face to face, there's no question. It's one of the... Was it one of the city? Akshi.
Ace, she.
Ace, she. I just can't fucking read. God damn it. People of the mounds, more commonly known as the fairies! I told you guys we'd be smooching fairies! Some... Pucker up, buttercup, smoochy smooch, but with the consent, because consent is key. One more time, how do I say this?
Ace, she.
She, that's just she. Ace, she. It's one of the she. They remind me... Yeah, they remind me of the stories Mam would tell of the men in green, those who watch over nature's most untouched places. Despite my best attempt to present myself respectfully, though, the fairy looks furious with me.
You!
I did nothing wrong! Without giving me time to respond, they seize me by the arm and drag me over to their horse. Well, wait! Please, wait, I didn't mean any offense! They don't even hear me over their own voice, which hasn't stopped berating me with questions all too fast for me to answer.
Where have you been? Do you have any clue how worried I was? What have you been eating? What are you doing here? Why are you all wet? Why do you look like you're starving?
I think I might have to change... I think I might have to change my settings because the music is a little loud and sometimes the volume of the voice acting drops in and out. After binding my wrist with some rope they had, they easily lift me onto the horse. Damn, okay. Manom?
Manum.
Manum! Manum. Manum! They're stronger than they look. Okay, they, them. But what's all this about where I've been? I just got here. I look down at them pleadingly and take note of a small swan emblem on their sash. Wait, hold on now. You've got to listen to me. Whoever you think I am, you have the wrong person. Unfortunately, my words fall on deaf ears. To be honest, though, the more they shout at me, the less angry they sound. If anything, they're acting more like a concerned parent. Sighing heavily, I slump into the saddle, now acutely aware that I'm being kidnapped by a fairy. At least I get a break from walking now. Come home safely. Ahashka. Aw, my treasure.
Ahashka.
Ahashka. Come home safely, Ahashka. Stick to the road and don't go astray. There's more robbers out there to be mindful. There's more than robbers out there to be mindful of. Ma'am, I'm not a child. You don't have to go on about those tales. Of course, dear. Just remember, don't give anyone your name. Mind your manners and don't eat anything you're offered. After some time, the fairy and I arrive at an ancient-looking stone structure. The area is still and quiet. We're obviously the only ones here, save the wildlife, I suppose. Foliage blossoms all around us, filling the air with the sweet scent of wildflowers. The fairy silently helps me off the horse. They stopped yelling a while ago, so we are forced to travel in sullen silence. As they lead their mare to the stables, I awkwardly fiddle at the rope around my wrist, but it's no use. It's too damn tight to wriggle out of. I take in my surroundings and spot a flourishing fruit and vegetable garden off to the side. Huge strawberries rise out of the garden bed and spill over onto the path. My mouth waters at the sight. No, no food! Entranced by bulbous ruby red berries, I almost don't register my captor returning to my side. Oh, you don't do every line? I got excited. I'm not gonna be able to do the voice. He should be ready soon, too. You grew all this? Of course. Who else would? They give me a puzzled look. I just meant you aren't having any trouble with the land? I look at the garden. The pea pods are plump and near ripe, and a hint of wildness is present in the chaotic tangle of stems, leaves, and produce. My thoughts turn back to our struggling farm and the people waiting for me to return. My stomach churns, and the encroaching hunger from the smell of strawberries turns into nausea. I suppose whatever this place is, the blight hasn't come to it.
Trouble? Why would I have trouble? Honestly, what has gotten into you, Daona?
What's Daona? Not you, that's for certain. Strangely, the name means human. Daona. No, I falter, remembering my mother's warning. At the time, I brushed it off, but now I might need to think twice. Not them. Who else would you be? Wait, answer that when I have some parchment. Without giving me time to respond, they lead me into the structure. Traitor King! The bottom floor is surprisingly cozy, especially given the formidable exterior. Someone has gone to great lengths to make it feel like a home. The hearth is warm and comforting. Potted plants and handmade dolls are scattered about, and there's a faint smell of baked bread lingering in the air. They guide me over to a small two-person table. I'll be back in a moment. As I wait at the table with not much else to do, I let my eyes wander over the decor. The tatting of the lace on this doily is done so well. I wonder if the fairy made all of these things. The dolls, the doilies, the knitted blanket on the back of that armchair. I nervously eye the comparatively crude monstrosity propped up in the corner, which I assume is some kind of training dummy by the arrows in its torso. The words Traitor King are scrawled across a sign slung over its neck. No doubt a testament of the dummy king's villainy. Suppose some things never change, no matter where you go. But what is it guarding? When the fairy doesn't come back immediately, I use the opportunity to rise and check. Yeah, because there's like a gate behind it. It's a holding cell. A remnant of this building's purpose, perhaps, before the fairy made it a home. Peeking through the bars, I scan what may be in my future. Ugh. I don't know why I got very thirsty. I mean, the fairy is hot, not gonna lie. Not on a hear me out cake, though. It is conventionally attractive. They are conventionally attractive. The high school is blaring music at 7 a.m. on a Saturday? Friday. It's Friday for you. I'm dumb. Sorry. It's Friday. Of course you're thirsty. Frisky Flirt Friday. Do I need to like bring back like Thirsty Thursday or something? The only thing in there is death by allergies. There's just a lumpy looking hay bed, a suspicious bucket, and a thick layer of dust that covers everything. Better that than a skeleton, I suppose. I love the music in this. I'm not gonna lie, early on I was like, man, this could get annoying, but I actually find the music very comforting. I still say try it Tuesday. Hey, I have been. I've been trying new games on Tuesdays. Looking around the room some more, I spot a desk in the far corner covered with scattered maps, notes, letters, and some wayward knitting materials. The maps have writing all over them, and the notes mention something about possible sightings that catch my eye. I'm nosy. I move some papers aside and look closer at one of the maps. Strangely, it looks a bit like Ireland at first, but the longer I stare, the less sense that makes. Woo! Press plus to zoom in and that to zoom out. Oh! My bad. How far? Oh, no. That is like basically all of it. The continent or island is divided into 4 distinct regions. I wanted to... Wait, no. Go back. Folias.
Folias.
Was that not the same? I feel like that was really close. I'll give that to myself. So that's the province of spring, eternal morning. Is that Phineas?
Phineas.
That was just normal Phineas. Summer. Murius? Murius. Autumn. Morius. And Gorius? Winter.
Glorious.
We're learning, chat. We're learning together. Each name is then followed by a subheading, respectively. The province is spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I wonder what that means. Maybe that's, you know, their province? Get it together, Reaps? Amid the various landmarks and city-like dwellings are symbols I've never seen before. The strange intersecting lines might be some kind of language. But I can't say for sure. As I keep looking, I notice some notes and scribbles jutting across the map in certain places. There's a little building in Falias that looks a bit like this place labeled Outpost. Is that what it is? An outpost? Finally, I take a look at the top of the map. There I see the presumed name for the strange land. Tir Nanog, Land of the Young? I've only heard that name in stories. Could it be true? Have I followed in the footsteps of legendary poet of Ireland? Oisin. I decide to distract myself from this revelation by moving on to one of the letters that's already unfolded. There's a broken wax seal on the paper's edge depicting a swan like the fairy's pin. To the Honorable, we're gonna finally learn how to say their name. Shay, oh, so it is Shay. Shay Fairglass. The given name means courteous, surname means green grass. Aww.
Shay Fairglass.
Shay Fairglass. Fairglass.
Shay Fairglass.
Shay Fairglass. Shay. I was right. Ha ha! I mumbled the words aloud. Shay Fairglass. That must be the fairy's name. The word honorable also clarifies some things. Seems I was right about them being a soldier. Just not for any army I know. Suddenly I hear the sound of something being dropped on the table behind me. Caught red-handed. Lord, they're a Lightfoot. I try to turn around as casually as possible, As though I wasn't just prying through their personal affairs. Shay keeps looking between me and the desk, and I brace myself for a new round of lecturing. Gonna head to bed, no problem, Tompy. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope your game went well. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Gotta be up early, get stuff done before the scan. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. Have a great night. Sleep well. So instead, they begin talking rapidly.
Look, I know you don't believe me, but I really do think I'm onto something.
I really do tink. They don't think, they tink. And I love that. I'm close, I can feel it, look. They run over to the map and begin pointing to areas and talking about things I don't understand. So, the princess was being held in... Duntalon? Duntalon, which is in Maurius, right? Oh, I already did that. Right. It's not right, it's right. Right. And which princess is this again? Is it Peach? I know Princess Peach very well. Shay immediately looks at me like I have two heads.
What do you mean, witch princess? The one I've been looking for the last 150 years.
Guys, I'm turning 30. I don't know shit. What do you mean?
The missing heir to King Henri's throne.
Attacked by the unseelie, disappear without a trace, the missing heir to King Henri's throne. Ringing any bells? I feel the blood drain from my face. 150 years? Just how old are they? Long living aside, though, that's an awfully long time to look for someone. Wonder if all this princess talk has something to do with that battered dummy in the corner. Not that I'm terribly inclined to ask. Anyways, wasn't always on Sealy territory. Now I'm adding like Japanese pronunciation to this now. Dang it! I really kind of want to learn this accent. That would actually be really cool for voice acting. Despite the attack, we held that spot of Maurius right till the end. Only went to the traders after the treaty, so I might have been wrong about her getting stuck over there given the timing. So now I've got a different thought. The princess was closest to her druid more than anyone in the world besides me, and that lot chose not— Nope, I lost it. Dang it, I have it for some words and I lose it for others. Besides me, that lot chose not to interfere in the war. So what if she's not with them? Hiding away in one of their sanctuary temple things. I really need them to speak again so I can have a reference. When we escaped, I told her to go somewhere the unseelie can't go. I'm going to get dragged so hard in the YouTube comments. I've just like put in 4 different like dialects and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna get dragged. Fuck. Be nice, YouTube. Chat, be nice to me too. What's up, V? It is a Reaper stream. How are you? Maybe she thought that meant somewhere not part of the war. Or maybe she didn't choose at all. She could be as much as prisoner there for all anyone knows. Since the druids refused. Don't think I will. I don't think you should. I don't think if anyone's not supposed to, it's you. Since the druids refused to stand with us when we needed it most, it wouldn't surprise me to learn that they've kept the true heir tucked away for a rainy day. Hope that's not the case. Hope that's not the case, but I don't know. Some of that lot feel as two-faced as the traitors. No offense.
When you get done in Tever, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your time training there.
I glance back at the map. There's a Temer and Folius. I was right. I really am in Tir na Nog, A freshly war-torn Tirnanog. If I'm keeping up with everything Shay's just said. I waver on unsteady legs for a moment. Shay stares at me suspiciously and clears their throat before continuing.
Of course, I wouldn't ask you to tell me any secrets. And I know you have to tend to the townspeople too, so it'd only be during one of your usual visits.
Assuming the Queen lets you after all this, I mean. I know she doesn't like me poking around about it. Hey, I'm sorry about earlier. I've just been worried sick, you know? But I shouldn't have been so rough with you. Thank you. Does this mean you'll untie this rope? Not a chance. Now come on over to the table. Well, at least we seem to be on better terms now. Maybe I can get them to listen to me. I finally see what they dropped on the table when they came in. They brought me a plate of bread and honey with a glass of milk. Don't eat it! Go on. You eat while I interrogate you. I don't quite like the sound of that. What kind of interrogation is this? I stare at the food. My mouth salivates pleadingly. Ugh! My stomach may be all for it, but every other part of me is warning me not to. If I ever intend on getting home, that is. That's a very common thing, that if you go into a fae world, if you eat the food, like, you're kind of stuck there. So fun fact, if you end up in the fae, don't eat the food. Just letting y'all know, don't do it. I swallow down the hunger. I'm not hungry. Oh, Gorab Mathagat.
Guramahagat.
Gorab. Okay, I feel like when we looked up the longest town names in the world, that was just a practice for this.
Guramahagat.
Goraba Magat.
Guramahagat.
Goraba. Huh?
Guramahagat.
Goramahagat. Goramahagat. I'm not hungry. Gorahab Magat. My gut groans in protest. Traitor! It's getting a sign too. You sure about that? Positive. Shay stares at me, frustration plain on their face, but they don't press the issue and sit opposite me. They take out a scroll and begin scrawling quickly, mumbling to themselves. Finally, they look up at me.
So, what were you doing by the loch?
The loch. I love that. Their quill pauses as they wait for my answer. Don't eat, don't tell them your name. Stay to the path. I think we should deflect. Shepherd, hello! Dropping a lurk? Thank you so much, that's so sweet! I'm doing well, I hope you are too. Absolutely lurk away, I hope you're having a great day. Did you see the new jacket BioWare released? What? No? Oh man. Chotomatte. I don't want to make this a BioWare talk stream, but I do want to see this new jacket. Is it a Mass Effect one? An oversized... It's the oversized bomber jacket? I'm gonna say something, and I don't think people are gonna like me for it. I like the design. I really like the design. The material looks cheap, though. I really like the design, but the material looks really cheap for the price that they're asking. I got you, buddy. You're a nice quality, and I appreciate that about you. No, I love that. We could talk about this after when we go back to just chatting. But I will say, I love the design. I think the design looks cool as fuck. I'm a big fan of like all black jackets. And I actually do like the patches, but the overall quality looks really cheap for as much as they're asking for it. I'll be honest, but I do like the design. They've had a bad run with bad quality clothing. I told you it. You have not. I need you to DM me what happened. You have not told me that. Send me a Snapchat telling me that story. Now I need details. I love the quality of this jacket. This is a BioWare. Or is this a BioWare? Actually, it might not be. Oh, it might not be. I don't know. I'll have to check it. But this is a nice quality jacket, and I love it. Okay. Oh, man, I'm still... What did Mom say we should not give that? I feel like we shouldn't give the information. I'm gonna deflect. If I tell the truth, will they believe me? If someone tried to explain this to me, I'd say they had too much to drink, even in the fairy world. Still, I can't just outright lie. I give Shay an altered version of the truth. I was chasing someone who stole my horse and belongings. I fell into the lake while following them. And what did the thief look like? Which way'd they go? They go? They go! Ah! You know what? Go ahead, YouTube. If you've made it this far into the VOD, roast me. Go for it. Well, I couldn't see because they wore a cloak and a mask. Didn't see where they went either.
You don't say. Well, we will just have to see what the Queen has to say about that story.
The Queen? I didn't think that story was I didn't think the story was that bad. Honestly, is it Daona again? Is it Daona? Daona. Honestly, Daona, I don't know what to make of you now. You disappear for months without a word, working up everyone from me to the court about where you've toddled off to. You know some folks thought you were killed, right? Or worse, defected. Bet if I hadn't been coming down from my rounds, you wouldn't have even thought to come by the outpost and let me know you weren't dead. Now you're spinning all these tall tales. I feel like this Hatsuan pronunciation dialect, you have to go into it like I do with the like Starbucks girl accent that I have, or like when people make fun of my like actual natural southern accent. Like you just gotta go into it. If you do not commit, you are going to fuck up. You know, I'm slowly realizing that. Please, I'm not. Help me find the thief and I'll show you. Shay frowns and instead of answering me, grabs my forearm. This again. You have a bruise from where I grabbed you earlier. I can't see what they're doing, but they begin rubbing the blossoming bruise and humming softly. Can you please give me my arm back? Reddening, they drop my arm and rush off to their desk. Ah, the plushies! I didn't even do anything. We got plushies. I look down and the bruise is gone. How did they do that? Glancing at Shay, I see they're busying themselves at their desk. I take a longing glance over at the food and see a piece of bread is missing. Wait a second. Where did it go? Am I finally losing it? Can't lose what you never had. While I try to figure that out, I hear Shay nailing one of the notes they just wrote on the exterior door of the outpost. This prompts me to turn back to Shay, who then leans out a window to make a strange call. I gasp as a strange being with dragonfly-like wings flutters in and takes the note. I'll meet you at the place. At the palace. They whisper the promise to the creature and give it an affectionate head scratch. Then it bounds back out of the window. They pause in front of me awkwardly.
You know that if you just tell me what you've been trying to do, I'd help you. You're basically family, Daoine. But if you don't tell me anything, then I can't.
Then help me catch the person who started this mess. We've got to talk to the Queen first. Are you sure you won't eat? Again, I appreciate it, but no. With a final sigh, they gather their things and lead me out the door. I guess it's time to meet the Queen of the Fairies. Oh Lord, what have I got myself into? Let's do one more chapter and then I'll call it. I think this is the farthest I've gotten, honestly. Let's meet the Queen. Let's do one more chapter and then we'll call it. Yes. The Master of Secrets. This is still just book 1. On Master Ruin. Just one more. That's what every reader says, chat. Just one more. Just one more chapter. Just one more. Just one more. Johnny, what's up? Hello. Got it, babe. I will look at it when I'm on break or when I end stream. Thank you. I hope you guys are doing well. What do you guys think of the story so far? I'm so sorry again if I'm to anybody watching this now and in the future if my pronunciation and accent are like just messing up the story for you. I apologize. I'm sorry. Sumimasen. Tever. The ride to Tever is quiet. Shay keeps glancing warily at me like they want to ask me more questions, but change their mind every time. I suppose I'm not sure what to say either, since nothing I tell them makes a difference. If only I had anything from my saddlebag. As we approach the city, we ride through the farmlands on the outskirts. The fields are all flourishing and ready to harvest, even though it feels like a beautiful spring day. We finally make it to the city gates, an imposing wall at the base of an enormous hill. Perched on top of the hill is the palace, where I can only assume I'm being taken. My panic begins to rise as we get closer. If I don't find any way out of this, I may never get home. And who knows what else this Daoine I'm supposed to be has done. If Shay is this angry, imagine what the Queen might be thinking. At least if I run, I might have a better chance of getting home. Shay takes this very moment to pull me closer to them.
Now we are gonna head straight to the palace. No stalling. Stay close. A lot of people have missed having you around to tend to them, and I don't want you getting dragged off.
That's so weird. If we stall for everyone who needs it, we'll never get there. And whatever you do, don't bring up that talk about Innisfall. I expect the Queen won't take too kindly to hearing the court's druid trying to flee the country. The court what now? That sounds important. Shay doesn't say anything more on it though, and leads their horse over to the stables before we enter the city. Am I a druid? Like, is the stranger a druid? Was the stranger a druid and therefore could shapeshift into me? What? Kara's not a fan of the city. Too crowded. I nod sympathetically, not being much of a fan myself. Poor horse. Darby isn't nervous around people. The old girl doesn't seem to even pay attention most of the time. Alright there, Shay. Been a while since you've been up. Just escorting the druid back. We are the druid! It's us! Then I'm back to the post. It takes all my willpower not to snort at the idea of being escorted like this. Inside the walls, the city is bustling with activity. The people here, like Shay, are all mostly human-looking save for the pointed ears and a few strange, otherworldly hair colors. A giant canal runs along the main thoroughfare, and the stores and homes are all inside gorgeous marble buildings. The blooming flowers that litter every corner and crevice fill the air with their pleasant aromas. Manam. Is it Manam? Moirai.
Manum.
Manam. Manam. I don't know what I expected, but it was nothing like this. I craned my head as we walked to see as much as possible. Down the alleyways, I get glimpses of shabby row houses and dimly lit stores. Shay and I walk side by side, and they have a firm grip on my bindings. At first, I'm annoyed by the short leash until an elderly woman suddenly grabs my arm, her bony grip locked around it. Daoine, dear, I was so worried when I heard. I thought to myself, now who's gonna make we... Oh, I can't pronounce that. Siren? Siren's medicine. I got nothing for you, little old lady. I feel a bit bewildered getting picked out from the crowd. Seems Shay isn't the only one who thinks I'm Daoine. As I prepare to respond, Shay quickly cuts me off. Not just now, Miss Depor. I promised to get Daoine back to you, but first we got to see the Queen. Of course. You come around too sometime, Shay. She leaves without a fuss, and it isn't until she's out of our sight that we continue on. I feel my stomach churn as we walk. While no one else approaches Shay and I feel an abundance of eyes on me. Just how well known is Daoine? Are they some kind of doctor? I don't like this. How am I gonna get out of here if the whole damn city knows my face? We come up to a busy crossroads filled with all sorts of food and bauble vendors. Amid the carts passing by, the large crowds, and the many alleyways, this could be the perfect moment for my escape. Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna run. I want to meet the Queen. I only get one chance. I've got to make it count. We continue down the main thoroughfare where I peek into shop windows and open doors to see the assortment of foods, trinkets, and fabrics offered. One weaver in particular is showing off what looks like silks that shifts from silver to a rich purple color in the light. A small crowd of admirers clap and gasp on cue. A bauble vendor is calling out to pedestrians to lure them over to her shop. Some of her trinkets are shaped like creatures I've never seen before. A couple remind me of the one I saw Shay talk to. Some of them sparkle with what looks like real gems. I guess I wouldn't be able to tell if they were fake, but I get the feeling I'm not wrong. Any one of these could probably sell for 10 times what I had in my saddlebag. The well-to-do looking customers don't seem too impressed, though. Everything here is so fancy. I bet it wouldn't be so bad living in the city. I speak without thinking, temporarily forgetting I'm supposed to know what here is like. Excuse me. Shay gives me a confused look that I'm quickly growing familiar with. The look that says Daoine wouldn't think the same. I guess if you don't look too hard. I mean, you know how it is, They stop mid-sentence as though remembering my story. Maybe they're starting to finally believe me. But whatever they're thinking, they quickly shake the thought out of their head.
Right? You know how it is. Put the nice stuff up front so no one sees what's happening in the back.
Of course, you know, this lot don't care much anyway. Could be worse, I guess. Most people are doing all right now that the Queen lets you come down here and help. People like that. I wonder what Daoine does for the city. If the Queen is letting her important druid come down to help, it must be pretty necessary. What's up, Dawn? Good evening! You did make it! Just in time. I saw someone read a book out loud on TikTok, and apparently it's a bad day to have ears. You won't guess what the title was. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. I don't need my voice saying that. No, thank you. Nope. Nope. Even so, fairy problems are the least of my concerns. Right now, I'm just trying to deal with my human problems. Speaking of which, we're approaching a busy intersection soon. This might be the chance I need. We step in the street just in time for a carriage to come barreling towards us. I plant my feet into the dirt and defiantly refuse to budge, forcing Shay to either let go of the rope or be run over. I feel them release the rope with seconds to spare. We both stumble backwards as the carriage driver shouts obscenities at us. The traffic continues to flow, pushing Shay and I further apart.
You stay right there!
No! I'm sorry! I can barely see them in the crowd now, and I use the opening to flee into the first alley I see. We're in so much trouble. Sorry, Shay, but I can't afford to get dragged into more fairy business. I'm in way over my head as it is. As I run, tall market buildings begin to obscure the light in the alley, shrouding it in a bit of darkness. Hidden in the shadows, I eventually stop and lean against the cool stone walls and fiddle with the rope bindings. I didn't say this earlier, but I've thought it multiple times. The sentences, the writing, the sentence length, the sentence breaks, beautiful. It feels so natural. And this is me with 20% of the words I don't know how to pronounce and playing with this accent. And it is so well cut and written thus far. Good job. I feel like you can have good writing when it comes to visual novels and otomes, because if you're reading it, then it's one thing. How do I say this? When people play otomes and visual novels, they're usually just reading, right? Like all this is just being read. You're not reading it out loud, really. But because I read it out loud and I narrate it and I put a little bit of acting into it, at the very least narrating it and speaking it, you can really tell when writing has gone through a process, when it has been checked, when it flows, when it's broken just right for a visual novel. You can tell. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do this as well, because I want more indie otome and indie visual novels to read their stuff out loud. I think there's a lot of great writers, but it has to be written and broken. The biggest thing about otomes and visual novel writing, it has to be broken correctly for your scenes, so it doesn't seem too much. But you also can't have too little. It's a very, very fine line, and it's very, very hard to hit. And the way that I find that you can hit it is by reading your shit out loud. Or getting content creators and gamers to do it for you. So this absolutely passes my approval of like being well written. It flows beautifully. I find the breaks to be very natural. Good job. Once again, I feel like I need to have like a little, I feel like I need to have like a little like down there in that empty space down there. I feel like I need to have like, you know, my ranking system of like, you know, the things that I rank every visual novel in otome. The cadence becomes more apparent. Yes, it just flows 100%. Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. And doesn't it, this particular story also has enough character speaking, inner monologue, and like world building. There's been a nice break. I felt that I was worried in the beginning that it would be too much world building, but actually I'm finding it to be quite nice. As a writer, I feel the pain. I'm so sorry if I just called you out, Johnny. It's no use. The knot is secure and the rope is tight against my wrist. I skulk farther down the alley in search of anything sharp. The alley gives way to another area of town where shabby storefronts have beggars and street food carts instead of the comparatively posh vendors I just left. I really don't need to be walking around like this. While doing my best... Sorry, that was the wrong me. I don't really need to be walking around like this. While doing my best to keep myself inconspicuous, I search the ground for anything of use. A shattered bottle by the doorway of a boisterous bar catches my eye. I dart over and snatch up my prize. Shielding myself from the bar window, I try to saw at the rope with the glass shard. But it's difficult. Even when I manage to twist the glass at an... Hello? Hello? Can I click you? I'm scared to click because then it'll move on. Hello? Even when I manage to twist the glass at an effective angle, my fingers will slip or my wrist will cramp up. Damn! Shay sure knows how to tie a knot. That's a useful tool. We'll know for later. We'll use later. Anybody who wants to romance Shay? Yo! That Ayo was perfect. It was a learning process, but I'm fairly confident now. You just find your stride as a writer. I feel like the writer thus far has like found their stride, and it's fucking good. I heave a sigh and drop my head back against the wall, giving my poor hands a rest. Just as I do, I spot a small, fluttering light overhead. I squint my eyes as the light draws closer and hovers by my still bound wrist. I peer down at it and gasp softly. It's not a light at all, but a strange glowing moth. Don't suppose you could do anything about this? As though in answer, the moth quickly flies away. Of course! Fat load of help you are! Without much other choice in the matter, I get back at it. But thankfully, after a painful few minutes of struggle, I finally finish cutting the rope. As I'm soothing my aching wrists, the glowing moth returns. A little too late, aren't you? I'm talking to magical fairy moths now.
Well, well. Imagine that. The Sealy Court druid, missing for weeks, found loitering near a bar that serves known criminals. What will people say?
I swear to God, if this is just a random NPC and not a romanceable character, I'm gonna flip my fucking desk. I will flip it. Yes! It is one of the romances! I believe it's one of the romances. Wait, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, game. Don't do this to me. Is it you? It is you! It's one of the ones I said I wanted to romance too. Their root's not available yet, but... My chair's really squeaky, but... Oof! 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 I was a Boy Scout just at Ayo? Ayo? Guys, that's a tool Reaper's gonna use later. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to simping. Can I say, I forget if I can say that on Twitch. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to this voice, man. Wow, so rude. Don't call him a tool. It's fine. He likes it. Right, babe? Just gonna go. I'm really hoping he speaks again. Brandishing the glass shard, I turn to face the speaker. Shoot him up there. There we go. A tall, slender man stands behind me, his face half obscured by shadow. The moth flutters near him, even though he pays it no attention. What does that say about you, then? What does that say about you, then? I'm gonna be snarky. God. I snap back at him, my voice stronger than I expected. The man steps into the light. He leans towards me until we are face to face. Oh, you want to kiss me so bad? You want to kiss me so fucking bad right now. He is the prettiest person I've ever seen. His golden eyes hone in on me and gives me a Vulpin smile.
Why, it says I'm doing my job, of course.
Oh, shit. And what job is that? My voice is beginning to waver under his cold gaze.
Finding you. Oh, come. Let your dear friend Keegan take you back where you belong.
Sir, wait, can I make him do this again?
Finding you. Now come. Let your dear friend Keegan take you back where you belong.
Can I just...
Hey, chat, don't mind me. Maybe just mute me for like the next 20 minutes. Cause there's something about the way he says finding you that, is the definition of Frisky Flirty Friday. Just one more. Give me one more.
Finding you.
Fuck.
Now come. Let your dear friend Keegan take you back where you belong.
Sir, you can take me wherever the fuck you want. Go ahead. You can put them back on if easy go. Just, god damn it.
You know who he reminds me of?
He reminds me of my magic partner in When the Night Comes. August. The voice reminds me of that a little. It's a little huskier, it's a little deeper, but it reminds me of that. Oh. Finding you like it's an oasis of that's it. That is it. That is it. That's what it is. Finding you like it's an oasis of fresh spring water in the no. Who's the voice actor? We have voice actors. Come here. Okay, by the way, Shay is by Lev Rodriguez Shivers, also doing fantastic. And then Keegan is Will de Renzi Martin. Oh my god. I know it's not Augustus or August's voice actor, but still, damn. I don't know any of the voice actors for this, actually. Surprising. I can usually find one or two that I recognize, and I don't know anyone in this. But, yeah. I did say at the beginning of the stream, he was one of them that I wanted to romance. Oh yes, sorry babe, Dawn said it. Automod caught it for something and I just don't have the time to really click it because it's a bunch of shit, but Dawn, you're fine. Do we just have to be friends? His smile is even more unsettling. Is everyone in the other world after Daona? Escaping is getting more complicated by the second. Damn it. I really have no choice after all. I dejectedly walk alongside him as we venture through the alleys.
Convenient that I ran into you here. I was just meeting with an associate regarding your whereabouts. It was quite useless, evidently.
Your associate? No, I cannot do this man's voice. I cannot do it justice. I couldn't do Shay's voice justice. There's no fucking way I'm doing Keegan's voice justice. One of them, yes. I would be a poor master of secrets. So in this game called Imperial Grace, there is a Master of Murmurs. Now I've got a Master of Secrets. Just add it to my list here, I guess. One of them, yes. I'd be a poor Master of Secrets without a variety of contacts. Master of Secrets? That's some kind of fancy word for a spy. I guess that makes sense. It would explain why he was in a place like this. I should probably be extra careful around him. Just my luck, I'd run into him while everyone thinks I'm some important druid person. Maybe I can play the part long enough to get out of here. Rather than heading directly for the palace, Keegan instead leads me into a fancy-looking boutique. I've never been in such a shop before, but Keegan glides through it with clear familiarity. The two shopkeepers whisper frantically between themselves when they catch sight of us. As Keegan approaches the counter, their whispers turn into delighted grins and greetings. Oh, Master Keegan, back so soon. Or is this a visit of pleasure?
My lady, as much as I value my time here, this visit is not for me.
I want to say this is a complete bit. Literally, anytime he talks, I'm just like, damn. Really, that Mickey Mouse Club? That's a surprise tool that will help us later. Throwback makes it so much funnier. I'm glad I remembered that. I love that. That was great. Good on me. Keegan attentively takes her hand and briefly kisses her knuckles. I'm fine with that. The young woman flushes pink before shooting me a look of contempt. Last time I checked in the game, he's my romance option. Should have gotten while you could. That's how I act with my boyfriend too. I'm like, you had the chance, you didn't take it. Mine now. I'm very protective over my shit. Yes, about my guest here. I'm bringing our flighty druid friend back to the palace, but... All three of them stare at me and I nervously rub my dirty hands on my clothes. I've never really put much thought into my looks, besides from the times I've needed to mend a thing or two. Standing in front of their judgmental eyes, though, my meager clothing seems more shabby than before. You can see the problem. I simply cannot present the druid in this state. The queen would be devastated. I've been freaking out too much. I've lost the accent. Just move on. We want to hear him voice act, not me. Master Keegan, how considerate. The queen is truly blessed to have such a man in her court. Now, good sir. The pleasure is mine. I can't tell if Keegan is being sincere or not, but the couple behind the counter don't seem to care either way. They rush to bring me an assortment of outfits, all while fawning over him. Suppose he's pretty popular. The couple never speak to me directly. Instead, they talk to Keegan about me. I do notice that they seem to keep shooting nervous glances at the glowing moth that curiously bobs near him at all times. They don't seem to like your moth very much. I'm not sure what possesses me to speak up. Likely the fact that shopkeepers keep ignoring me. The lady shopkeeper shoots me an ugly look before returning to her fabrics. If Keegan sees it, he says nothing. I am voice activated! Very much so. Absolutely, I am very much voice activated. I'm like a... I don't know what I am. But yes, I agree. Oh, I know it's easy. She.
Ace, she.
Ace, she. I did know that part, though. The ace, she usually aren't allowed inside. This couple is kind enough to make an exception for my will-o-wisp. Will-o-wisp? I stared dumbfounded at the fluttering moth. I grew up hearing stories about the wisp, but to see one this close, it's different than I imagined. Cuter, I suppose? For a moment, I pause. Wait, but aren't you all ace she? What's the difference? As soon as I say that, the couple both stare at me horrified. Keegan actually looks caught off guard.
You've returned much more vulgar than before. Intriguing, but unbecoming.
Bite
If
me.
I'd asked the difference between you and a horse, it amounts to the same thing.
When I tell y'all I love enemies to lovers, what I mean by that is someone would read that and hear that and be like, oh my god, what the fuck? That's so rude. And I immediately had an in-gutter thought. So, just know that, chat.
As you well know, they were already here when we, the two a day, were driven to Tirnanog. It's a foul human conflation to assume we're the same.
Huh. So they're not fairies then? Or at least a different sort. Enough so that the conflation would cause offense. My first time at a fancy shop and I insult the owners. I'm not sure if Keegan cares about what I say, but I get the feeling the wisp means more to him than he lets on. Else he wouldn't keep it so close. What do you think, Master Keegan? The mauve kaftan or the emerald gown? Keegan seriously considers each option before grabbing them both and walking over to me. He holds out the outfits for me to consider. Let's let the wearer choose, shall we? The fabrics are high-quality silks. I'll never earn enough in my lifetime to pay for these. I have to find a way out of this before I end up deeper in trouble. Never fear, Mohara. Some find Keegan's predilection towards possessive phrase as an address odd, rude, or unsettling. I mean, I'm taking it as a compliment if he wants to possess me. Like, hello, yes, here for you, sir. Absolutely. Mahara. Never fear, Mohara. This is simply a business expense. Of course, I'll foot the bill. That's exactly what I'm worried about. The words come out before I can stop myself. You seemed... Look at that look. Look at that face. Damn. You seem to have also gained some sass on your unexpected vacation. You simply must tell me what you got up to. After we... Nope, I don't know what that one was. After we meet with the queen, of course. For now, let's make you presentable. I flush at the reminder of my position and grab one of the outfits. I don't even know what that is. Wait a minute, I'm Googling. I'm gonna do an emerald gown, because I like emerald more than this mauve. I'm like an Amazon Alexa? God damn it. Jared and a horse. One is waiting for a God. Johnny said it. Johnny typed it so I didn't have to say it out loud. I'm gonna go with an emerald gown. Why the fuck not? I choose the dress, finding myself drawn to the way the fabric seems to glimmer when it catches the light. The silhouette is foreign to me and exposes more of my skin than I'm used to, but it makes sense for the climate. For a moment, I marvel on the detailing. The neck and waistline are embroidered with floral embellishments and feel silken to the touch. I can't imagine how much time was spent on this gown alone. Once I'm finished changing, the shopkeepers gesture me over to a large silver mirror so I can finally see myself in full. How do you feel? They are masters of their craft, no? I agree they are. No, they're fucking good. I did insult them, so I feel like I should give them a compliment. I agree they are. The clothes fit me as though they had been made for me and not hastily grabbed from a pile. I run my fingers along the fine stitching and feel how impossibly light the fabric is. I see why Keegan frequents this shop so often. As we approach the counter, the tailors are both watching me in triumph. They may be snooty, but they obviously take a lot of pride in their work.
I must say, you did not disappoint me. Once again, I'm in your debt.
Oh, you flatter us, Master Keegan. Your patronage is thanks enough. Of course, we also enjoy your more casual visits.
As do I. For now, I fear I must return to the palace. I'll send payment along with what I owe from my personal order.
Keegan continues to discuss the details in between their saccharine compliments. By the time we leave, they have invited him for tea no less than 3 times. Meanwhile, I still can't stop thinking about what it means when I accepted these clothes. Keegan says I won't have to pay, but the fairies, whatever kind he fancies himself to be, don't just give things away for free. Fuck, I did forget that. When we make it to the palace, for a moment, I'm struck by its opulence. Intricate canals and waterfalls decorate the grounds, and pink roses cover a significant portion of the land. We're greeted by a grandiose marble staircase and a large pink banner bearing the same swan and roses I saw back at Shay's outpost. The stone is carved into a mix of antiquity and long, sinuous lines that give the palace a beautifully unique appearance. Moss and roses grow along the ground and walls and cover the elaborate fountain in green and pink so that there's a trace of wildness about the place. Excuse me. The palace feels old too, but not in a bad way. More timeless than anything. If I wasn't terrified for my life, I'd love it. It's the most grand building I've ever seen. Keegan seems unfazed by the grandeur as he casually greets the guards and guides us through the gates, then over a bridge.
Watch your step, Mokara.
Mokara.
It's a long way down.
I raise my eyebrow and glimpse over the side of the bridge. When I do, I have to force myself not to make any sudden movements. I'd expected to see a lake or something down below us, but all those waterfalls are just flowing in some great big pit. I can't even see the bottom of it. Instinctively, I walk closer to Keegan until we've put some bit of distance between us and the pit. As we enter the palace itself, servants and nobles line the halls we pass through, whispering behind their hands and staring at us. At me. Servants are watching with concern, their eyes flicking between me and my escort, Keegan. The nobles, on the other hand... Oh my. I think we're in for a show today. Did they run off to join the Unseelie? Vaguely seem like they're anticipating my demise. I squint as I note the word. Unseelie. I've heard it before, I think. Shay mentioned something about it, didn't they? Despite the columned halls being open to the air, it feels claustrophobic as I realize I'm the center of attention. This is like some kind of nightmare. As we make the long journey down the hall, I can't help but think whatever the Queen has in store can't be worse than this.
Quite impolite, aren't they? Gawking so openly. You'd think they'd have better things to do.
I know I certainly do. I mean, what? Is he trying to make me feel better? I give him an anxious smile in return. Keegan blocks me from the crowd as he leans over to hold the door to the throne room. His expression never changes, but his voice drops so that only I hear him. Are you ready to go in? Yep, let's do this. Game on. The lilt in his accent is so pretty. No use in putting it off anymore. Keegan nods and we enter the throne room. I just heard what you said. What? No. What's up, Callie? I am so crushing on this dude. So crushing. To my surprise, the Queen is nowhere to be seen. Oh my god, I saw art of you guys! Instead, there are 3 very important looking men talking amongst themselves. All 3 of them turn to look at us as we walk in. Ah, Sethor, Kethor, and Tethor? I'm gonna guess.
Sethor, Kethor, Tethor.
Got it! Why, of course, I should have known you would be here awaiting Her Majesty. That's more British, apologies. The men share a cautious look before approaching us. Well, 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 if it isn't Keegan, I'd wondered where our Meisterin?
Keegan Moshtaroon.
Mosteruin. Keegan Mosteruin. I'd wondered where Mosteruin had slithered off to. The red-headed man chuckles at some joke only he understood. The other two men are appraising me, both looking at me as though I were something foul. Wonderful. I get all gussied up and the fops still turn their noses up at me. Isn't Daona supposed to be one of them? Or do all wealthy folk just have a second sense for spotting the poor? Here's hoping they aren't too close to the queen. I see you're returning the fledgling druid. Her Majesty will be most grateful, I'm sure. Oh yes, she does love her pets, doesn't she? Kethor's eyes remain on Keegan, and I wonder if he was included in that statement. I'll fight for you. I'll fight him. Just let me at him. Let me at him.
I only do as she asks of me.
I only do as she asks of me. I have to get back this accent. It's what I've got to do.
I'm sure Her Majesty will feel the same about you.
And what are you implying by that, Master of Secrets?
Her Majesty must be reliant on us all to watch out for her best interests. After all, rulers these days are dropping like flies. No?
The courtiers share a furtive glance, but Keegan gives no indication if he saw it. Kethor's face rushes through several expressions before settling on indignation. However, we don't get a chance to hear his response. I can't do another chapter. We'll be here. We'll be here forever. I think I've got to call it there. I think next week, maybe I might stream on Tuesday with PNG Reaper. And I think we'll meet the queen then. I've got to end it there. I've got to end it there. I have to end it there. Aaron! Oh yeah, no, Callie. I heard his voice and I was like, this is it. Yep, that one's mine. That's mine. Although to be fair, at the beginning of the game, I did say there were 3 that I wanted, that I was like, smash. Absolutely smash. Did I have 3? There's 3 I wanted to smash. 1, 2, yeah, there was 3. 3 I said smash, and he was one of them. You're playing an Irish-themed game and you didn't tell me? I kind of didn't want you to know because I am butchering it. Like, I'm going through these phases of I feel like I'm getting the accent and then it just goes, goodbye, into some weird British shit. Look. I've gone through a lot, okay? But oh my god, that was so good. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? There's so many good things about this. I love the glossary. I love that everything in the glossary has a pronunciation, like someone is speaking it, so I can like learn it that way. I love that. We were complimenting the writing. The art is gorgeous. I don't think I really spoke a lot on the art, but I think this background watercolor and like the character art just being kind of like a different style, but still so beautiful. Love it. The writing, love it. I have nothing bad to say about this, actually. I love this. I love this. No, what I was going to say is that this is a me thing. This is not a story thing. This is a me thing. If I'm not 100%, like, if I don't want to romance a character, I'm not very interested in them. Shay is great. I love the voice acting. Voice actors also fucking on point thus far. Great. I love them. Shay's part felt long, but it really wasn't. I just don't want to romance Shay. However, we got to Keegan, and I was like, you and I could have a whole conversation for 6 hours, and I wouldn't stop us, like, you know, kind of thing. So God, I find this, this has been fantastic. Do I have any illustrations? Okay, no, it's coming soon. He's the book of the master. So I like the warrior, the king, and the master. Those are my 3 that I want to romance. But right now we're in book 1 of the traveler. Do I have any achievement? Coming soon. What is this? Wait. Is it a double click? Okay, no, you can load game. Okay, cool. Chapter selection. Sweet. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. So you can go through the chapters. I love this. That means there's a lot of chapters in a book. Damn. Load the game. I love that. That's fantastic. For those of you guys who don't know, I actually got, Moirai Myths, who, I'm butchering that name, by the way, actually reached out to me to play the demo before their release. They're releasing 2 routes on November 1st, I believe, and it is the Book of the Soldier and Book of the Warrior. We have met the soldier. The soldier is Shay. Warrior is a character that I want to romance, so that will be the path that I am going to go down. And they are, they asked me, and I'm going to do it, to play one of the routes. So we will be playing this game for a while. We will be learning about this story for a bit. So I will come back to this either next Tuesday, maybe PNG Reaper, or maybe next Friday as PNG Reaper. I haven't decided yet, but we will be coming back to the story to continue it, because this is just the demo. And if you guys would like to check out the game yourself, the link is pinned in the chat for you guys. YouTube, this information is going to be available for you down in the description box below. And if you made it this far, you have probably already like given me so much shit in the comments for my really bad voice acting. So good for you. I will not read them because I will get my feelings hurt, honestly. So, you know. I applaud your effort. Good practice for that game. You're now most definitely playing in VTM Ireland. You're gonna put me in fucking Ireland. You can't be mad at me. You cannot be mad at me when I start going to a British accent, because I swear to God, I'll get really into it and then it'll turn British and I'm like, I've lost it. I've lost everything. I'm curious if the VAs are Irish. The VA names are on the link. If you want to check it out, you would know more if like those are Irish names than I would personally. Moirai? Really cool they reached out to you. Yeah! Oh my God, they're so nice. They're so sweet. I love it when indie visual novel teams reach out to me, because I want to do this shit. Right? Ugh. Love the sweater. Thank you. It's so comfy. We're in sweater weather season, even if it is a little warm. I thought it would get a little cooler tonight, but anyway, guys, you want to say bye to YouTube? YouTube. Thank you for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. If you made it this far, thank you. Please check out the game, because by the time you're seeing this, 2 routes might potentially be available unless I get on my shit and post this at a reasonable time after the stream. But thank you guys for watching. You know, if you're not subscribed, that would be cool, because at this point I'm like 3 away or 4 away from 500 subscribers, so. And maybe like the video so that other people can find it and come watch it and stuff like that. So that'd be really cool and fantastic. So just do the stuff that we all know how to do. Okay, we've all been around the internet. If you like something, like it. If you like what someone does, subscribe. I don't feel like the fact that we gotta say this, and I'm not calling you out, YouTube, I'm just saying this in general. The fact that that's gotta be a thing nowadays. If I like something, I like the video. If I like someone, if I like the content consistently, I subscribe and I follow them. Like, I'm gonna snooze this ad. But with that, YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Again, all the information about this game is gonna be in the description box below. And if you end up playing it, let me know on all my social media, because all that's gonna be down there too. So let me know that you got it, that you played the demo, that you played the game, and that you love it, you hate it, you blame me, you thank me, all that jazz on any social media. I'm here for it. And with that, I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.